the only song that in details describes the culture of the people on the same tune. That is Baraso ko baramana narani cheri tu chalilo rang rangilo. I do not know of any song in the country that talks about all the 6 seasons. But our government says that we need development, but development at what cost? At the cost of life. पोटैटो पूरे उत्तराखंड में इतना होता है कि दैट्स मोर देन एनफ फॉर द कंट्री एज ए होल. जड़ी बूटियां, ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन, फॉरेनर्स दे लॉन्ग फॉर दिस. वो कुछ भी मिले निकले पेटेंट कराएं, दे आर रेडी टू पे मिलियंस ऑफ रुपीज. क्या अपने को सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट का कोई मॉडल नहीं मिलता? ट्रेडिशन एंड डेवलपमेंट का कोई रास्ता है हमारे पास? आई हैव सो मेनी मेमोरीज ऑफ दैट एरिया. And not only that, I even wrote part of a diary that I myself published as the editor of Manav. I was the only journal in Hindi anthropology we have, Bard Films Farsi. I published there about the incident, the tragedy that took place in Harsil, the way it happened now. This is, you can say, more than action replay of that. Friends, this is the map of Uttarakhand, my second home, you can say. But then I have several second homes. मेरा अपना तो कुछ नहीं कह सकते. But I get nostalgic when you talk about Uttarakhand. Almost say from 77 to 82, I had a 5-year plan, you can say. Still, memories are there. Like we have Kumaon, we have Garhwal. About Garhwal, most of the people know about, particularly Char Dham. The song is there. Deva Bhumi Badri Kedara Pauma Begadi Ganga Dhara. In Kumaon, the most famous song, most of the people know Bedu Pako Baramasa. But I think on the same tune you have a song. The only song that in details describes the culture of the people. On the same tune. That is Baraso ko baramana narani cheri tu chalilo rang rangilo. I do not know of any song in the country that talks about all the 6 seasons. We have songs for rainy season, we have songs for Vasak, we have songs for Sharad, we have songs for Vasant, but not like that. Say, for example, now the rainy season is there. सावन भागो बरखा धारा भरी रे नौरा गद्यार गारा सुख सुख पानी कच्छ कछारा निराई गोराई रोपाई होनी इनो दिनो मा. All the economic activities are reflected just in 3-4 lines. And I used to say, हमी एक गांव का हमी एक नाव का नाम हमारो कुमाऊनी हम सुन कुमाऊं का. 45 years ago. We were 4. Initially, in Dharchula, we had Professor Kapoor, Dr. Rajiv Ranjan. At that time, nobody was doctor, and Katyayan. Then in Munshari, myself, Professor Kapoor, and R.R. Prasad. In Uttarkashi also, we were there together. We'll be talking about that, Harsil and all those areas. And then in Chamoli, I was alone. Of course, conducting fieldwork is conducting fieldwork, but once you start enjoying fieldwork becomes the play. I have so many memories of that area. And not only that, I even wrote part of a diary that I myself published as the editor of Manav. I was the only journal in Hindi anthropology we have, Bard Films Farsi. I published there about the incident, the tragedy that took place in Harsil, the way it happened now. This is, you can say, more than action replay of that. Then what happened, what for I'm making this video? It is this incident of day before yesterday. This message was sent by Professor Sahai to me after that incident took place, the message from Government of India. This is to report a series of extreme weather events in the form of cloudbursts that occur in quick succession at 5, 8, 25. I don't know whether it was cloudburst. The weather department of Dehradun has not confirmed even. Cloudburst इस तरह से नहीं होता. In 35 seconds, everything is finished. Cloudburst takes minutes, hours, maybe more. Then those three things, that first incident, Dharali, we are talking about near Harsil. Actually, Harsil, Mapua, Dharali, all these are very closely placed villages. And in Harsil, we have Ania, Bagori. Bagori is the tribal village that we call Jodbotia, where we stayed for something like around 4 months or so. Then, third incident near army camp in Harsil. This army camps are very, very sensitive to all these things. Like when we were in Bharchula, about 12 kilometers from there, you had Tawaghat, and the road was there only up to Tawaghat. There was a military camp, about 1,500 people, and that crowd bus was there, and majority of them, they were finished. And here they report that only 10 of them. But let us see what happens. This is the photographs sent by the ministry itself. This is before and this is after. What has happened to the area as a whole. And immediately after that incident took place, Kalyan Ganguly, a friend of mine, an anthropologist by training, but retired as a very senior scientist in ICMR. I think Mahapatra must be knowing him. He sent this 34-second video, and you can see what changes in 34 seconds. See this. The debris that's coming around. Silt is there, clay is there, boulders are there. Anything that comes on the way, finished. On this side, things are saved, not on the other side. You have residents, about 1,200 people say. You had hotels, you had tourists over there. They have become tourist spots. They are not no more religious spots, Gangotri, Yamnotri. And once the water takes its course, everything that comes on the way is finished. This was a news in Times of India today. 360 million cubic meters of glacial debris came tumbling down, experts estimate. This is a rough estimate. It can be much more. 36 करोड़ क्यूबिक मीटर ग्लेशियर डेब्रिस. और इस तरह का डेब्रिस जब आता है तो फिर कुछ नहीं नजर आता. नो जंगल, नो होटल, no rich people, no ministers, no labor, everything finished. This is, you can see the location of Harsil homestays are there. The Bhagirthi is there. Then goes up to Gangotri, and then from Gangotri to Gomukh. Look at the situation. In 1978, the three of us, along with Professor Tiwari and our assistant, Dila, we people went to Gomukh. And that year, hardly 250 people visited Gangotri. And a decade ago now, the Uttarakhand government has put a limit of 3 lakh people can only visit Gangotri. Just see how much of damage can be caused. Only 250, and now limit for 3 lakh. So what is happening? It is not natural. And look at previously when we were there, nothing was there. Harsil, Ania, Bagori, all three into one, they were there. And Bagori was the largest tribal village in the Himalayas. Hopefully, I'm not sure, because in this area it is. And today you heard in Himachal also floods have been there in Kullu and Kinnaur, and you are also having in Bihar. Half of Bihar and 1/3 of UP, they are underwater. And you have been seeing in Russia and USSR and US and China. You have in Pakistan and Turkey also, but I don't mind. अल्लाह का अजाब आ गया होगा उन पे, तो ज्यादा पानी गिर गया पाकिस्तान और तुर्की में. They can bear with that. But why it happens? This place where we were, understanding a bit of culture, if I tell you, we say tribes are endogamous. There's an article by Professor Andre Bete in 90s, maybe 91, 96. He says tribes are not endogamous the world over. If Indian tribes are endogamous, it is because they are Indian. Endogamy is not a characteristic of tribes in general. And we had an example here. Yards. When we were there, four people from outside had already married, one of them from Delhi with Kohli surname. He used to trade in clothes but got settled in the family itself. Fifth marriage we saw with a Tulcha, a tribal from Chamoli. And our own attendant Dila from Masuri, he was intending getting married at that time. When we returned, there was no link. Hopefully, he was there. So, in a population of 1,000 or so, six outsiders getting married, five of them Gharjawais. So, that is not. And one interesting thing, let me tell you. There was a case of polyandry, and how convenient it is, how casually they take it. There was a yard, his wife was there, they were issueless. The rich people, they have lot of sheep and goat, and they get permanent attendants, which they call lugji. They had one, and he was a Nepali. He was very sincere to them, and each lugji is given six sheep every year for the service conducted by him. They didn't have any child, and the man married his lugji, a Nepali, with his own wife as a second husband, and they had a child, and the child resembled in features with the second husband, and taken very conveniently, no issue. They are much more wiser than we are. In summers, they come down near Harki Paddy, near Rishikesh. Munikireti is the name of the place, about 2 kilometers from there. And in summers, they go back. We were there along with them in the summers only. And we were about to come when this tragedy struck up. And ironically, we were not affected. What happened? There was a hillock. Water was coming out drop by drop. And a pig entered that point. That stopped the flow of water. And gradually, a lake was formed. I don't remember even now whether it was 700 feet or 7,000 meters. And once it burst, it swayed away everything. On the right bank of Uttarkashi, everything was washed away. Left bank was saved because of the flow of water on the other side. And we were evacuated through a helicopter. I traveled in a helicopter only once. We were saved to Sarsawa near Saharanpur, and then we came to Delhi. Now, what is happening here? What happened in Dehradun? Dehradun has a carrying capacity of about 2 lakh people, and 40 lakh people visit that area during tourism. Where is the carrying capacity? Where is the sewerage? Where is the supplies? Now, Dushyant Kumar, who was the first गजल राइटर इन हिंदी, ही हैड रिटन बाढ़ की संभावनाएं सामने हैं और नदियों के किनारे घर बने हैं. Here, so we are inviting, we want to live over the river also. So mean you have become what you call Homo sapiens. The Char Dham that you call, we have all India Char Dham, north, south, east, west. But in Uttarakhand, the Char Dham are there. Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath. About 60,000 trees have been cut on the way, and the government is still planning to cut another about 5,000. Everybody knows these are shales. Kachi mitti hai bhai. But you want to construct roads, you want to spread tourism, पैसा आता है. एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट इज द थिंग वेयर यू कैन मेक मैक्सिमम मनी। जितना काम करना है आधा भी करोगे तो अकाउंट में तो पूरा हो ही जाएगा। और गवर्नमेंट सेज वी नीड डेवलपमेंट, बट डेवलपमेंट एट व्हाट कॉस्ट? At the cost of life. The wealth that Uttarakhand has, when we were standing over there and everything was blocked, the only thing we had was apples. एप्पल जो 20 रुपए किलो मिलते थे 2 रुपए किलो मिलने लग गए, और फिर 50 पैसे, और फिर उन्होंने फ्री कर दिए कि सड़ने से अच्छा है तो लोग खा लें। हमने एप्पल की सब्जी खाई, हमने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था एप्पल की सब्जी खाएंगे। पोटैटो पूरे उत्तराखंड में इतना होता है कि दैट्स मोर देन एनफ फॉर द कंट्री एज ए होल। जड़ी बूटियां, ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन, फॉरेनर्स दे लॉन्ग फॉर दिस। वो कुछ भी मिले निकले पेटेंट कराएं, दे आर रेडी टू पे मिलियंस ऑफ रुपीज। क्या अपने को सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट का कोई मॉडल नहीं मिलता? ट्रेडिशन एंड डेवलपमेंट का कोई रास्ता है हमारे पास, या इसी तरह से डूबते रहना है, न्यूज बनती रहनी है, चटकारे लेके पढ़ना है और फिर 15 दिन बाद भूल जाना है? यूपीएससी वाले आंसर में केस स्टडी बना लेंगे उसको बस। द पॉइंट इज दैट एवरीवेयर you have made development human centric, and that is the blunder. Don't forget that we are just one of the species of millions of, all of them need to survive and thrive in nature. The development has to be nature centric, otherwise if it happens it will become a news. People will be curious, कल भी पढ़ेंगे कितने बचे। The day it happened, day before, they said that 4 people had died and 20 have been saved. 4 people died, 1200 की पॉपुलेशन में 20 सेव्ड हैं, 4 डाइड हैं। बेवकूफ किसको बना रहे हो यार? टुडे मॉर्निंग न्यूज इज दैट 160 प्लस पीपल हैव बीन सेव्ड, बट दे डोंट टेल हाउ मेनी डाइड। पता भी नहीं लगेगा बिकॉज मेनी ऑफ द यू विल फाइंड फ्लोटिंग टिल हरिद्वार, मे बी टिल बनारस, एंड द एटीट्यूड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट विल रिमेन द सेम unless people wake up, unless academicians wake up, unless anthropologists speak about what cost development। न्यूज बनती रहेंगी, मजे लेते रहेंगे। अभी तक नोबडी, नो एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट हैज रिस्पोंडेड टू व्हाट हैज हैपेंड। क्या कहूं मैं अपने लोगों को? आप थियरीज बनाते रहो, आप प्रैक्टिस करते रहो, ठीक है ना? अभी कोई ना कोई एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट पहुंच जाएगा वहां अगले साल, व्हाट हैज बीन द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दिस डिजास्टर। फिर रिकमेंडेशन जो है खाका की तरह लिख करके दे करके बोल जाएगा। वेयर इज द एक्शन, वेयर इज द पार्टिसिपेशन? सबसे कह रहा हूं, ये ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जो है, एक्चुअली ग्लोबल होना अच्छी चीज होती है, वार्मिंग तो वार्मिंग अच्छी चीज होती है। तो इस घटिया ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के लिए हमने ग्लोबल वार्मिंग वर्ड ही क्यों चुना है? कर्स बोलना चाहिए था। लंबी नहीं करूंगा वीडियो, सोचिए। थैंक यू।